Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle skincare, sometimes self-care, and today we're talking 15 skincare tips that actually work. Today, I just kind of want to rapid fire some of my best skincare advice to help you live your best skincare journey. And I have advice ranging from cleansing your face, sunscreen, how to make the most out of your products, how to save money, and how to troubleshoot irritation. So if you're so ready, give the video a big thumbs up and let's jump right into the 15 tips. Tip number 1, wash your face after brushing your teeth. There are agents in toothpaste that can be very irritating and drying for our skin, especially our lips. And if, sometimes you dribble down your chin, it does happen. So instead of trying to very carefully brush your teeth and then wash your face. You are going to rinse away all of those potentially irritating agents before they have a chance to do destruction on your skin. Tip number 2, wash your face for 60 seconds. Yep, a whole minute. Too many of us are rushing through this step. It is the most boring part of your skincare routine, I know, but when you're just mindlessly slapping cleanser and water on your face and not really taking your time to thoroughly cleanse every area, every surface of your face, you are likely missing the dirt, the bacteria, the excessive oil, the buildup, the dead skin cells, the makeup, all of that on your skin. So really slow down. I know it doesn't seem sexy, but it is actually the most foundational and important step of your skincare routine. So check yourself, set your timer on your phone and see if you're actually spending the time to wash your face. Tip number 3, it's so important to have sunscreen on every inch of skin that's exposed to the sun, but it is so hard to keep that sunscreen on your hands. There are a few quick tips here that can make this a lot easier for you. You can use a face moisturizer that has a little sunscreen in it. Carry that with you as your hand cream when you're out and about. You can also carry a sun stick with you. I love this especially for driving because I gotta be honest with you, sun creams and even moisturizers with sunscreens just feel really greasy on the palms of my hand. It's hard for me to grip the steering wheel, and then I get all that white smearing all over my dark car interior. So I actually really love sun sticks for the tops of my hands. Right before I start driving, I'll just pop it right on, or when I'm at a stoplight, let's be honest, I forget a lot. And then the tops of my hands, which are super exposed to the sun as I'm driving, are really well protected. Tip number 4, get the most out of your skincare products. Frugality is in. Get the very last drops of all that precious skincare you paid a lot of money for, right? So you probably know with serum bottles and dropper bottles, you can always turn them upside down if it's hard to get the last bits out of the bottom. Turn them upside down. The next time you go to use them, you can just shake them out onto your palm. You can also cut open tubes and plastic bottles. This is especially great for things like moisturizers. Those actually will keep for a really long time. Just put them in a plastic bag to keep that freshness in. With sunscreens though, you do want to be careful here. I see a lot of people opening up their tubes and then saving it for a week or more. Iffy. With sunscreen filters, they are very temperamental and they are formulated just right with just the right formula with the packaging in mind to keep them stable in their sunscreen packaging so they can continue to protect you from the sun and give you that labeled protection like SPF 30 or SPF 50. You can cut them open, you can scoop them out with your fingers, but just make sure that you're using it all up at that point in time and not trying to save it and stretch out that application, especially if you're worried about your sunscreen not giving you the label protection, not being protective enough for your skin. As it's exposed to more of these things, the protection wears down. It's absolutely fine with things like creams and serums and all of that, but be very careful with protective products like sunscreens. Tip number 5, clay masks don't have to be drying. Clay is amazing for helping to smooth out texture, clean out the pores, and tighten them, right? But it can be a little bit drying if you don't have an oily skin type, right? Clay inherently absorbs the oil in your skin. And so if you have a little bit of a drier skin type, clay may not feel like the right fit for your skin type. But there's a few things you can do to make the clay less drying, but still effective for the texture and the pores. You can mist or apply a hydrating toner underneath your clay mask to give that little layer of hydration and protection as the mask is sitting on your skin. You definitely want to let the mask not dry out on your skin. Once you start to see that hardening and that color change on the mask, that drying out, you need to wash that off. It's usually 10 minutes or less. You don't want to fully let that dry on your skin because you're really going to get that drying effect. You can also mix a pump of milk cleanser into your clay mask. I've been doing this for so long now and it's completely transformed my relationship with clay masks. I get all the benefits without any of the dryness. So I put a pump or two of my favorite milk cleanser and I mix it into the clay mask right in my hand. Don't do this in the jar. Mix it on demand in your hand, and the application is so beautiful because the clay feels like really whipped and fluffy. It's so easy to spread on the skin. And the milk cleanser does a few things. Number one, it actually infuses your skin with a lot of moisture. So that helps to cut down on the drying of clay. But because they do not have those harsh surfactants like traditional foaming cleansers do, they're actually not irritating to the skin. The milk cleanser also helps to slow down the drying process of the clay. So you can actually keep your clay mask on a little bit longer. Remember I said don't let it dry out on your skin. So you're getting more contact with the clay with less drying benefits. And it washes off a lot easier. Tip number 6, for really glowy, glossy skin, mix in a drop or two of facial oil into your moisturizer. Think about 1 drop, 2 drops of oil. If you tried to spread that across your face, you probably wouldn't have enough to put onto your face. But when you mix just the tiniest kiss of oil into your moisturizer, it spreads so much better onto your face. You're not getting this heavy, weighed down application of oil. It doesn't feel greasy, but it just adds a little infusion of moisture, a little infusion of gloss onto your skin that really amps up your moisturizer, makes your skin really glowy and glossy. It looks amazing under makeup. If you ever wondered how to get really glossy skin under your makeup, this is the quickest way to it, in my personal opinion. And if you ever felt like a moisturizer just wasn't quite enough for your skin, but you're afraid to put a whole layer of oil on top of it, just mix a little bit into your moisturizer and it will really go the extra mile for your skin. This is a particularly great tip for body care as well. I love a glowy, glossy leg, you know what I mean, in the summertime when you're wearing your dresses and your shorts and you want your legs to pop and look really pretty and bounce light, you know what I mean? Show off those beautiful gams. Couple drops of oil into your body moisturizer. It will really condition and soften your skin. Hello, ashy and rough knees and elbows, right? But it will also make your legs look amazing when you're showing them off. Tip number 7, make your own sleeping masks. This is a really easy tip. If you have a few common products in your skincare arsenal, you can actually get on the slugging trend by putting a little dab of a petrolatum based ointment like CeraVe Healing Ointment, Aquaphor, Vaseline. Put a little bit of that in your palm, mix it with your moisturizer. You can mix so much with your moisturizer, trust me. Mix it into your moisturizer. So that's, again, like the oil, going to make the application of the petrolatum ointment a little bit thinner because it can be a little suffocating. It can be a little heavy if you put a straight layer of that on your face. So if you've never liked that, try mixing a little dab of it into your moisturizer. It oomps up the occlusive abilities of your moisturizer, so you're still locking in all your skincare. And that's the real magic of the petrolatum ointment. It locks everything in place. All that hydration, all that moisture, all that plumpness, all that goodness. So when you wake up, your skin still looks and feels like that in the morning. It creates that really protective layer on your skin while you're sleeping and locks everything in. It still works, but it helps to make the layer a little more tolerable for some folks when you mix it right into your moisturizer. No fancy sleeping mask required. Play around with this one. Think about what you want to achieve with a sleeping mask and see if you can't mix that into your moisturizer. One of my favorites that I started using last year to help calm down itchiness, irritation, redness, and inflammation in my skin while also locking everything in place was the ever popular La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm. I squirt a little bit of that into my moisturizer and then apply that to my face. It not only makes my moisturizer more moisturizing, locks everything in place, but all of those soothing qualities of that healing, that anti-irritation ointment actually take down the inflammation, the itchiness, and really help to calm down my skin. Let's talk skincare layering. layering. Tip number 8, always order your skincare products from the thinnest texture to the thickest in your skincare routine. If you've ever wondered, how do I fit this product into my skincare routine? And you're, looking up names like essences and serums and toners and first essences, and you're getting kind of confused how to fit it all together. Don't worry about the names as much as you worry about the texture. The thinnest, the wateriest type of texture is going to go first. The thicker, more gel-like textures, the creams, the lotions, the oils go last, right? If you follow this rule of thinnest to thickest, you will never be steered wrong. Don't worry, you're not doing it wrong if you put your serum on before your essence. If the textures really go from thinnest to thickest, you will never be steered wrong. Now, I know some folks ask, should I implement wait times when I'm layering my skincare, especially when using active ingredients like vitamin C, AHA, and BHA? Do I need to wait before I put on my next layer? The short answer is no. The long answer is this is pretty outdated advice. Skincare chemists are formulating their products knowing that there are certain pHs that are ideal for these active ingredients to work, and they're formulating it knowing that you're not going to wait 20 minutes after putting on vitamin C before you go in with your moisturizer and sunscreen, right? The reason why I say it's actually outdated advice is because while it is rooted in science, it's just not rooted in the reality of modern day skincare. Skincare has come a long way in a very short period of time, and the majority of our skincare products are what are considered pH balanced, or they're at a pH that is very close to human skin, which is 5.5. This is getting a little sciencey, I know, but it's important to know that your skin hovers at a pH of 5.5, and most of your skincare products hover at a pH of 5.5. There are some specific products out there that are going to work at a lower pH, like a 3 or a 4, and those are some of the ingredients that I mentioned, like the vitamin C and AHA in particular. These do work at a lower pH. So the first thing they do when they hit your skin is they actually lower your skin's pH to a 3 or a 4. That's how they're exfoliating. That's how they're getting into your skin and being active. The reason why wait times were recommended in the past is because oftentimes people were using skincare with really high pH levels, particularly cleansers. There were a lot of cleansers out there that were a pH of 9 or 10. These are incredibly stripping, very drying, very non-skin respective types of products. And while those products do still exist, I'm not denying that they don't. They're a lot less common these days than they were even 5-10 years ago. So as long as you're not extensively raising your skin pH above 5 or 6, your active ingredients don't need a wait time. They don't need to work so hard to take your skin down from a pH of 10 all the way down to a pH of 3. We're going from 5 to 3. It's really not that big of a deal. Let it absorb into your skin, move on with your skincare, move on with your life. If it's not in the instructions of the particular product, you really don't need to be concerned about it. I think it's getting way nitpicky. It's really overthinking your skincare. It's really not necessary. Tip number 9, layer skincare onto damp skin. We've heard this one. That feels like a throwaway, right? I'm actually going to expand on this one because I know some people overthink it and they go, what does damp skin mean though? Does it mean dripping wet? Or does it mean barely moist to the touch? It's somewhere in between. I always say to think about it in percentages. So if you feel like your skincare has absorbed about 50% from the time you put it on, right? Now is the time to go in with your next layer. You want it about halfway absorbed, maybe even 60 to 70% absorbed. That's when you want to go in, and that's when your skin is going to be more able to easily accept that next layer when it's a little bit damp, right? Not dripping wet, not bone dry. About between 50 to 70% is when you want to go in with that next layer. If you're struggling to layer your skincare without it feeling thick and greasy, you may be wondering, am I using too many products? And you might be. It is definitely a valid question to ask yourself. But another question to ask yourself is, am I applying too much per product? Am I using a whole dropper of my serum dispensed into my hand and putting that onto my face? That's probably too much. Am I using a huge generous glug of toner or essence, and it's taking forever for it to get absorbed 50% into my skin. These are indications that you might be just, using too much. You might be a little bit too happy with the toner shakes and with the serum droppers, right? You can actually pull back the amount that you're putting on. More is not more. If you're still struggling with the right amount, you may want to think about switching into mist skincare. This is something that is often recommended for layering issues. They say mist in between layers to enhance the absorption. That's a great piece of advice, but it can also be really great for reforming too generous applications of things like toners and essences, especially if you like milk toners or creamy essences. Those can, if you over apply those, it can be all over for your skincare, right? So try a mist. They create a really nice, fine, even application of product onto your skin that absorbs a lot quicker than when you're putting a generous handful of skincare and patting that onto your face. If your skincare feels like it's building up really thick on top of your skin and not absorbing deep down into your skin, here's one last tip for you. Try rinsing your hands in between layers. Now, I know some people love to bathe their hands in their extra skincare remnants, right? And that's how they take care of their beautiful hand skin. If that is working for you, I'm not saying to change this. I'm just talking about folks who are having problems with buildup on their skin. It's actually surprising how much skincare builds up on our hands if we're not rinsing, and how much of that actually does get transferred to our face. Just try it. Try it. I get some pushback on this one, but I have to say from personal experience, when I rinse my hands in between layers, everything just effortlessly absorbs in my skincare routines. When I forget to do it, often when I'm on camera and I'm talking and multitasking, right, and I forget to wash my hands in between each layer, I start to get a little bit of a thick buildup on my face. So that's how I discovered that this tip may work for this particular issue. If you're experiencing really dry or rough, cracked and calloused skin, I'm thinking feet, knees, elbows, even your hands. I mean, my hands can get kind of rough in the winter time. Or if you're getting patches of eczema, even on your face, look for a urea-based moisturizer. This is an amazing ingredient that flies under the radar. It's very if you know, but it has so many benefits for this particular situation with skin. Not only is it a soothing ingredient that can relieve irritation, inflammation, and itchiness in the skin. You know how dry skin can feel really itchy. It also is a natural moisturizing factor that helps to restore our skin's moisture barrier. It helps to retain hydration and moisture in the skin. So it helps to address that dryness, right? But it's also an ingredient that softens and exfoliates in a very gentle way those rough calluses on skin, those rough parts on our feet, on our knees, on our elbows. And that's why I said it's also really good for like eczema and psoriasis, because it very gently helps to soften and slough away that rough, calloused skin. Eye creams can be super helpful for areas other than the eye area. Now, eye creams can be amazing skincare products for your neck and chest because they're developed for the eye area, and that skin is a little bit thinner. Eye creams generally, not all of them, but generally tend to have a really quick absorbing type of texture. I personally find I can't layer a lot of skincare onto my neck and chest. Things start to build up and pill a lot faster than they do on my face. So I really appreciate how quick absorbing but nourishing and protective eye creams can be for this area. But especially if you find eye creams with active ingredients, especially like retinoids, these can be so incredibly handy for the neck and chest. You want a little collagen stimulation, a little fine line and wrinkle fighting ability for this area, but you don't want all that irritation, redness, itchiness, flaky, peely skin, the retinoid scaries on your neck. Not a cute look. If you use an eye cream, remember the eye area is thinner skin. It's more delicate skin. It's more prone to irritation skin. So eye creams are developed knowing that in mind. They're just going to inherently be gentler. That doesn't mean they're not effective. It just means they're gentler for these types of areas. And if you're a retinoid user who struggles with the retinal scaries, maybe in areas like that upper lip area, around the nose, or around the eye area, you can use your, full strength retinoid product on your cheeks and wherever you don't have problems, and then switch to a retinoid based eye cream for the more delicate areas. You can make your own toner pads and sheet masks at home. Yeah, you don't need to buy these separate products. And this can be be actually a really great way to save some money as well. You do need to get one product though. It's very inexpensive. It's called 5-layer cotton. I got you because I know you're about to type in, where do I buy this? What are the brands? I got it. It's linked in the comments. It's in the description box. I got you. 5-layer cotton. This is so cool because it's very, very thin cotton that is compressed together into a like a pad. And so you saturate this pad and then you get to peel. It's really satisfying. You get to peel away the 5 layers of this really thin cotton that actually has been made in a way that you can manipulate it. You can stretch it and make it a little bit bigger to custom fit your face. So you can use your favorite toners, essences, serums, any watery type of skincare that will saturate the pad will work. This is particularly useful for those who have very specific skin sensitivities and trying new toner pads and sheet masks that have unknown ingredients in them that you're not sure will work with your skin, but you have like tried and true watery skincare products that you know work. You just wish it was in a sheet mask, format. Here you go. You are covered. And it's also, like I said, it's a very budget friendly tip as well. And tip number 15, if you have really sensitive skin and you struggle to tolerate strong aggressive actives on a daily basis, I have a tip for you. You can spot treat. You don't have to put them all over your face in order for them to work efficiently. This is particularly helpful if you're trying to treat active spots of acne on your face or hyperpigmentation marks. So if you do have some active spots on your face that you wish would reduce down, but if you put your acne medication on your whole face, you're going to wake up with a raw and irritated skin and your barrier is going to be very weak, feel free to just dot it onto those active spots. Of course, a full face application is ideal, but if we're just looking for some quick improvement without testing our skin barrier, just put it onto those little spots. It's just going to be a little isolated area. It's not going to spread to the rest of your face, making it feel like really inflamed and itchy. This is also very helpful for hyperpigmentation spots. I'm thinking like vitamin C, tranexamic acid, arbutin. These are amazing brighteners for your skin, but they can be a little bit too much if you're using them every day or even morning and nighttime, right? So feel free to do some spot applications. I find that I can tolerate these ingredients, sometimes even in a spot treatment, morning and nighttime with no irritation. But if I was to use them as a full face application, even just once a day for the entire week, I would absolutely irritate my skin. So this can be a workaround to getting closer to your goals a little bit faster without pushing your skin too far. Ooh, rapid firing all the quick tips. I hope you really enjoyed this video and found some value in it. And I would love it if you would drop your favorite skincare tip that actually works in the comments below. If you love the video and you want to see some more skincare content from me, please hit subscribe before you go and come join our skincare community. Thank you for being here with me today. I love you so, so much, and I really do hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe. I'll talk to you in the next video. See you soon.